Hey everybody. Hey everybody. How we all doing? You ready for classes to get started? They love giving us these things. I wish there was a way I could opt out of them for the lives, but we can't. Maybe one day. We hope. Let me see who's all in the classroom. Elise. Hey, Anna. Mwah. Carol. Let's see. Desiree. Desiree, I give you my heart. Silver. Let's see. RD. And Pam. 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 Mwah. I am fine. As long as I don't move my foot, I'm okay. Hi, Tom. Hi, Karen. Karen's in the house, folks. I think I got everybody. Hi, Tom. I must have missed you. Did I miss you, Tom? Yeah, I'm doing a lot better. It don't look like a football now. It's just a small baseball. It'll be a golf ball tomorrow. So let me see what I got. Everybody, can you hear me good? I checked the mics and everything to make sure everything was working. Hi, Ann. Got a bunch of new students going to be appearing today, folks. Bunch of new ones. Hi, Denise. It's looking good, folks. It's looking good. Uh, Today I'm just going to go over the pattern with you and some other things that we need to go over. And we're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to go as long as I can. I can't sit too long and leave my foot dangling because when I do, it just starts swelling and hurting. And yeah, it's not fun. I don't wish it on anybody. Hi, Janella. Yeah, I got a boot on one foot and gout on the other. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? I don't wish it on anybody. Oh, and my eczema's flared up again. It's that time of the year. Yeah, I feel better. It's still swollen, like I say, and it's still painful to touch. If I breathe on it, it's okay. But if I touch it, oh yeah, the world comes crashing. So I just gotta be careful with it a few more days. I got my friends. Hi, Jeremy. Jeremy, I want to say thank you for going in there last week and telling everybody that classes were called off. Thank you very much for that, Jeremy. I do appreciate that. I was upstairs and I couldn't come downstairs, and the computer was downstairs and I was upstairs. Yeah, I stayed upstairs the last week and a half. I just came down. Yesterday was my first day downstairs, and I was only down here for a couple hours. So I have to keep it elevated, otherwise it starts swelling again. I still cannot move the toe, which is weird. If I move it, oh God, it's like something crunchy. And the other foot, I gotta go see the orthopedic about it. We'll see what they're gonna do. So, it is nothing. It's nothing. Thank you, Elise. Hi, Tammy. Hi, my sister. We got a sister, Tammy. And I see you have the same problem as I have. I can't spell my name. My life saved me. What did I do? I have broke 2 toes back when we were moving out of our sticks and bricks and working our way to the big and I just taped it up with popsicle sticks and stuff. Well, that was about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, and I had some bone fragments worked out of that area, and they started creeping around, and they every time I put my foot down, it was like I was putting it down on a knife, and we went to the hospital and had X-rays and stuff, found out we have bone fragment problems, so they're sending me to orthopedic, dentist, Flower just fell. Dentist, um, you're tatting with one hand? Okay. Well, I got gout in the other foot. That's my dog, the Flower just fell. It's cold and we live in a rig, and you have to use things that stick to stuff, and for some reason, my Flower doesn't like being there. It'll get cold. So just know, that's life. Things fall, you go looking for them. It makes it an adventure. It turned over that speaker too. Thank you. I don't know where the hook went. Okay. Thank you. Pam says hi. That's my hubs. He's my tech support. Oh, if I lost both feet and that arm, I'd have just shot myself. Anna says hi, Dennis. He's been cooking and taking care of everything. And, you know, I couldn't have made it if it wasn't for him. He learned to cook some really good dishes. Thank you, Anna, by the way. That dinner was good. But he made peas and carrots and chicken and cream sauce. And yummy, yummy, yummy. Very filling. Yeah, I'll keep him for a while. I've had him for 30 something years, so I keep him for a little longer. It's been a fun one. It's been a fun one. But I did get some tatting done and things like that. So it was productive. If you can be productive when you're down, you're doing great. Although I will tell you, the trick to this is a tart cherry juice, and oh my gosh, it'll make you pucker like no tomorrow 'cause there's no sugar in it. And that's what made it start the swelling start coming down. And, because I can't take NSAIDs or ibuprofen. So, yeah, it's been aspirin cream and tart cherry juice for the most part. I will say this, I am now on a regimen, I must drink tart cherry juice every day. Cranberry juice, because I asked about that. No cranberry juice. It has an acid base, and the gout is caused by uric acids in your body buildup. I know it's sour, so but that isn't what makes this work. The cherry juice has something in it, give it the name of it anyway, but it works to dissolve the uric acid, and if you get it all cleared up and you stick with drinking a 16 ounces in one day, you can drink it however you want, so it's 16 ounces one day. It will keep it at bay, it will lower your uric acid down to the levels it's supposed to be at. So it's a natural, way to take care of it, and I'll be honest with you, I'd rather drink tart cherry juice than the alternative shots in me don't like shots. So, but enough about that. Did y'all have fun while we was not having classes for the past few days? Past few classes? I've noticed we are 2,000 away from 100,000 subscribers between all class channels. How cool is that? Hi, Teresa. You made it. So, yeah, we're not too far from 100,000. And it's all because of you all. Every time y'all hit that like button, the share button, every time you all subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, you make a comment, it builds our algorithm and that pushes us higher up the ladder. Okay. Now we have a total of 8 channels out there. I have George's channels, plus I have the channels that I started for the different levels, and we also have the class channel. So there's 8 channels out there that all of them combined, we're almost at 100,000 students. So we're getting big. We're getting real big. It makes me happy. You wanna come say hi? Come on, Bubba, you can come say hi. Up here. Come on. Come on. She wants to say hi to everybody. There you go. Say hi. This is my little love muffin. She stayed with me and she laid beside me the whole time. She wouldn't even come down to eat. So she was a good girl. See, that's your friends. That's all your peoples. They all like you. I don't know why. You're rotten. Okay. Go see Daddy. Dad, here she comes. So, but she gets extra special treats for all that stuff she does for us. She's a good dog. I have to say, she's a good dog. She's real careful around my feet. She walks over and gives me a toe kiss in the morning. I'm gonna heal it, and she really tries her best. But she is a service dog, so needless to say. Now, how many new ones have we got in here today? Hi to the dog. Karen, her name is Mia. Probably, right? Thank you so much, Carol. Her sister, we had to put down 2 years ago, and, she was from another litter, and she was much older than Mia, and she had Cushing's, and Cushing's took her. But I tell you, she was just like this one. But the funny thing was the apartment we lived in had a big patio door, and Asia was her name, and it's because she had the map of Asia on her face. Um, she would sit in front of the patio door watching everybody drive up and down the roads and stuff. Well, a little bit over here to say, "Well, that's a good place for me to hang out on her back." So she'd stand up on top of Asia's back looking out the patio window. Everybody thought it was so hilarious. People would come up and they'd just start laughing. So, yeah, but they got along 2 peas in a pod, and, they played together. If one got in trouble, the other one took punishment too. They would put their self in their kennels. They had a, playpen, and we dumped all their toys in it, and if they got in trouble, that was the safe zone for them. They would literally go into the playpen by themselves, close the gate. "Hi there, B." She is a Malch. She is part Maltese and part Shih Tzu. You can get them registered and, or not, and we chose not to register. We weren't gonna breed her. I got her because they do make good service dogs. They really do. They're, for PTSD patients, people with depression issues, things like that, and they sense on that very easily, and so they do make a good service dog. I have PTSD. And it's so this is your first class, Tammy. You're gonna like this. You're gonna have some fun. All right, folks, it is 2:59. How about we get started and get the show on the road? Now, I'm gonna fold up the keyboard and get it out of the way. Today, we are going to go over the pattern Sophia or Sophie, and I'm gonna show you a few things about the pattern that might be a little catch for you, but it's easy, okay? Now, some of you went ahead and did Sophia, which I'm, glad you tried. I really am. But there was something about the center part that really blew y'all's mind, and I'm going to explain what that was and show you why it happened, okay? Also, I want to show you Ewa's newest book. Now, I can't show you inside where the patterns are, but I can show you what she's done. The book is both in Polish as well as in English. She's got terms in there that she used throughout the book. She also describes how to do the techniques during her book. Some of her patterns look so hard for a beginner, but the truth of the matter is it's not hard. It's made to look that way, but it's very simple, and her patterns are so easy to read for someone that knows how to read a diagram, okay? Yeah, we got one of the patterns. This is her freebie pattern, Sophie, and, so I was waiting for her book to come, and I said, "Well, I wanna go ahead and show your new book." Now, it's a little pricey, high fat, but I'll be honest with you, it is worth every penny you pay for this book, okay? So, let's get on with it and get in there, and let me show you all the little goodies I got on my desk. So, got that on. Let me switch cameras. Takes me a minute. And we're down there. We're down there. First thing I wanna go over is this. Now, you all were this is what we did when the last class began, okay? As you can see, it's a pretty decent sized dolly, okay? I've got tape measure, get it right here. Now, this is the easiest pattern. It's a generic pattern that we use all the time, okay, in teaching. But you can take these little motifs and you can put them together and come up with a really nice dolly. Or you can go bigger and make it a placemat, something to go underneath of whatever your heart's desire. It's available to you, okay? So with that said, hi, Silver. I didn't even see you. Let me get back down here where all the talk's going on. My thing is not scrolling today. All right, so this is about 10 inches. It likes probably a thread or 2 from being 10 inches. Hi, Cindy. Okay, no, we don't have a Cindy. That's Fred Ann. But it's 10 inches, and this way, as you can see, it is 8.5 inches. Well, that's a pretty decent sized doily to put on a table or something. But other things you can do with these little doilies like this is you can put them in those brass rings, hang them in the window. You can connect a lot of these together and make you a really pretty, valance on a curtain, okay? And there's lots of things you can do with this basic pattern. Now, this is size 20 thread, okay? And this is size 10 here. Let me get it right side. No, there's my knot. It slipped through. Doesn't matter. These are samples. All right, this is size 10. 20 is underneath of it. Okay. And as you can see, my padding on the 10 is tighter than on the 20. Okay. And the reason that it's tighter on the 10 than it is on the 20 is because this 20 was done years ago. This is the piece that I started and I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with it. Well, then I gave it a job. okay? So this is the one that I use to do my runs on, and what a run is when you tat to get your tension, and as you can see, the tension on this is a little loosey-goosey. On the 10, it's really, really tight, so I got it the same size as the 20. So you can play with your threads that way. If you see 10s better than 20s, you can play with your threads that way and get your 10 down to a 20. But remember, you're gonna get a throw-in star. They're gonna be stiff, they're gonna be tight. If that's what you want, go for it. Alright, Tammy says her goal is to tat a shawl. You will when I get through with you, Tammy. You will be able to create a shawl, and you will be able to wear that shawl, okay? And the best size thread for you to use to make a shawl is the 10 because you cover more turf, okay? But if you like the delicacy, you can always step down. Hi, Monica. You can always step down in size, and Monica's got a good one there. Pearl Cotton DMC 8 is really, really fantastic to use. It's got a soft, billowy texture to it. So that means that it will be a softer piece. All right? It's not the 6-ply coordinate as this thread and this thread. All right? So this is a 10, this is a 20, this is a 40. This here is a 3. These 2 here are 3s. You see how humongous these 3s are? Now, if you put a lot of picos in this 3, yes, it would be pretty. Yes, it would have the billowy look, but it would not have the texture. Size 3 thread is really, really heavy looking, okay? Here's a size 3 right here. You see how thick that is? That's like tatting with rope. Fixing to get a commercial. It came back. Alright. So they skipped the commercial on us. That's good. Um, so if you're gonna use size 3, remember you can do whatever you want with it, but it's never going to be a soft, soft thread that you need for a shawl. However, size 3, if you want it as placemats for, say, out on the patio, perfect. You cover a lot of turf, okay? And one other thing, if you use these for a placemat, okay, then you're doing fantastic, okay? Because if food and stuff gets on this, it's gonna be a lot easier to get it out of this than this. But there's a way you can cover this in laminate and make placemats, okay? So, the sky's the limit. Your imagination's only as far as you can throw it, okay? Now, if you want a bigger imagination, throw it further. It's up to you where your imagination takes you, and that's 90% of tact and being a designer is your imagination. What do you wanna make? Create it. Most of the things that I add up, unless they're for gifts, okay, are, "I need this for this." And that's what happens. I end up with it. Hello, let's see, out to Lintu. Okay, I hope I got that right. Welcome to the class. You haven't missed much. Alright, now, we went through this. Now, size 80 is the smallest that you can get in the colored thread. This was Oh, Niku, glad you made it. Um, 80 is the smallest you can get in the colored threads. You can get from Handy Hands up to size 100 thread. Now, mind you, size 100 thread is sewing thread size. Now, if you like working with sewing thread, go get some quilters thread. It's a lot cheaper, okay? But buy a pair of binoculars and strap them to your face because 'cause you're gonna have to see where your joins are. You gotta watch your stitches, because if you miss a stitch, you're gonna end up tearing your thread out if you're not extra, extra, extra careful trying to pull out any mistakes. Fair warning. I said warning. All right. So now let's get down to Ewa's goodies. Now, when I ordered her book, this was after I had already planned on the pattern and she gave me the pattern. She sent me a couple extra goodies. These are threads that she uses. She uses Lisbeth threads on her patterns. Okay. She also uses a polyester thread. Now, the shine on this polyester thread is absolutely amazing. Okay. And it is the size of 40 threads. Okay. Can you see that? Let me get it up here so you can see that. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's got such a beautiful sheen. Now, this is what is called Titan. Now, I don't know where you can get this. This may be something you can get from AliExpress or someplace like that. I don't know, but I will ask Ewa where we can get this thread if you're interested. Okay? So, I mean, I thought it was nice of her, but she sent these to me so I could play with them because she knows I like to try out different threads, and, I'll tat them up and let you know. By the way, folks, y'all remember the thread I bought through Amazon, pack, and I showed it to you, and I said I was gonna tat with it and see. Come to find out, it is Elizabeth thread, just under a different name. So, it's mind-boggling. I'll never understand productions. I just won't. Okay, let me get these on a better playing field here so y'all can see what we're looking at. Now, you can see that better right there. Okay, this is size 10 thread, the same pattern as this one in 40. These are the Sophie pattern, and Sophie pattern is up, the link to it is up on our website. It will download from Ewa's, Drive, her Google Drive. Now she's got several patterns on her Google Drive that are free, but she has a web page. You can also get a hold of her on Facebook, and she's got a list of her free patterns. I encourage you to go see her free patterns. They look so challenging, but they're as easy as this. Trust me when I say that. Okay. Well, thank you, Karen. Thank you very much. So now I'm going to give you your little treat for the day. This is the new book. Y'all see this? Is this not an adorable cover? Look at that. Yes, you see that? Now I'm gonna show you inside. She signed it for me. As you can see, she's got it in both English and in Polish. That is so we both sides of the world get to see her beautiful work. Now here's her, index with her table of contents is what I'm trying to say. This is that in Polish, and then she's got it, I think, before it in English. I know I've seen it in here. I can't find it right now. These little boxes here are links to help you with your patterns. So you just take your phone, and click that link, and take a picture, and you click the link. It'll take you to her video that shows you what you need to know. Now you can't get any more help than that other than coming to the live classes. I mean, seriously. Okay, where to get the threads, brands, and besides Elizabeth and Amazon? Okay, I will only advertise the places that I trust, and because I have done business with them, and I know that you'll get your order and all that stuff on time, okay? Amazon, um, a Twisted Pico. I have a list, it's at the bottom of the video, okay? And it's all in that description box. It'll give you all the stuff you need. It'll tell you what they got and where to get it, and how to get it, and all that stuff. So, yeah, Just check out our links, and then I have an Amazon affiliate, and everything I use, and you'll see me demonstrate it throughout the class, and, you'll see it in action, alright? So you know I buy it and I try it, but I also buy things and they're a flub, and I'm gonna tell you, it's a flub, don't waste your money, and if it's something new, I will try to get it as soon as I can, okay? Karen, if you're looking for the books, you can get them from Handy Hands and save the shipping fees from Poland to you, alright? Or you can get a discount from Ewa. I don't know what kind of discount she's giving right now. She didn't offer a special discount for the classes. I can ask for one, but I don't know if she'll give it to us. Um, most designers too, but she's got these things priced at basic cost. It was $40, and that included shipping. That's what I paid for the book. But as you can see, this book is pretty darn thick. I mean, it's got a lot of information in here that you can use, okay? It tells you all about her. Here is all her links, where you can find her, and you can write her, and she gets right back to you on Facebook. I mean, she's lickety split with getting back to you. So, and I've added several of her patterns, and I cannot say enough good things about her pattern. So give it a whirl, you know, try her free patterns first, because she gives these free patterns so that you can see if you can work with patterns or not, and she can walk you through, help you, aid you in any manner that she possibly can. And if you find they're easy for you, then invest in the book. Not too many tatters will give you samples that closely relate to their way of tatting and designing. So when you find one that does, take advantage of it. Tat their free pattern. Most tatters will give free patterns out, okay? Most of our designers do, but you have to go to guild meetings and things like that to get the freebies. And but I try to get if I see something everybody's interested in, I try to get permission to get a pattern from them. You know, that I do have some treats coming your way. Trust me, you'll love them. Alright? So, let's get into this one. This is Sophie, and she is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful pattern. First of all, I want to show you the difference between this one. And the center part right here is the thing that blew everybody's mind, okay? Well, they questioned why it was twisting, and it did the same thing in the size 10. Now we went from a size 40 to a size 10, the next one up is a 3. That is not going to change that twisted effect, and that's what it is, it's an effect, and the effect comes from these rings are tatted up with the 2 double stitches between the rings, okay? And when you've got just 2 double stitches in such a large ring, they're going to roll a little bit, and it gives a little bit of frill that you need in the center so it's not dead negative space. It makes it attractive to the eye. So, yeah, that's supposed to happen, okay? So be sure to remember that. They do tricks like this so that it makes it prettier. The little tricks is what brings it all together. Hi, Plaid. Now, in case y'all are wondering, the reason I call you by your names in class that you give me that are on the screen with 3,110 students, it's kinda hard to remember everybody's name and their, Google name, so I just use that name. When I write you, I know who you are. So, trust me, I know who you are, it's just on here, 3,000 it's kinda hard to remember. Alright, so I'm gonna apologize now. I can slap my hands later when you see me. Alright, so this one being in the size 40, as you can see, the delicacy really stands out. But this here is 1 round, cut and tie, 2 round, cut and tie, 3 round, cut and tie, and then a 4th round cut. Well, folks, we can fix that. I'm just gonna tell you, we can fix that. And the way we can fix it, I'm gonna show you on here because I've got a sample over here I'm gonna show you how to do it with, alright? Because this is such an easy pattern, I don't need to walk through it. Alright, so when you do this center part, I'm going to show you how to do this. This I will show. You come out here with a split ring, then you do a very tiny mock picot, go into another split ring down into your chain. You have just stepped out a round, okay? Then your break point when you come around on this side is gonna be right here. Now, you new students don't know what I'm talking about. I understand that. I'm going to explain all this as soon as I get all this information out. Now, your break point is gonna be right here because you're gonna go around, do all these little pretty things over here, okay? And on this last picot, 'cause these are picots on the chain, these rings don't come in until the next round. So, you're gonna come around here and you're gonna get to this ring right here. This picot. Instead of a regular picot, you're going to do what we call a mock picot, alright? And you're going to do this last section of this chain right here, and this is where you're gonna pop out, alright? So, this here you would do in rods, which is reverse order of double stitches. Bring your picot out and split ring here, and you're into this round here. And as you step out each round, you will do that same thing. You'll pop out where the and it looks natural, okay? It looks like it's intentional. Can you tell where I popped out on each round on that? And I didn't have a bunch of pins. It saves you time and trouble when working on these types of patterns. And these smaller patterns that are easy workups, these are great to practice with, okay? So, we're gonna do this here, but what I'm going to do, I'm gonna do a couple of rings here and show you how this starts to roll. And then I'm gonna get this in here, and then we're gonna do the 3rd ring as if the rest of them were done, okay? We're gonna come out and we're gonna step out this next round, so you can see how that's done, alright? So, now to do this, I am going to use 2 different colors of thread, reason being I want you to see the difference, okay? So, let's see, but I don't wanna use I've got all size 10 thread. Alright, I was sent these to sample them. You have to move slow. Alright, we're gonna use the pink because it will show better on camera. These are the shuttles that I use to teach with mostly because they do hold a lot of thread. You can get a dozen of them, I think it is, for like $6. And if you drop it and break it, you ain't lost nothing. I do have some fancier ones. I don't like carrying them with me. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to tie a knot in these threads. Okay, only reason I'm doing that so I don't sit here and fight with everything while on camera. Normally, what I do, and I'm gonna show you this real quick. It's a trick. Y'all ready? Okay, pay attention. I take my shuttle that's going to be my rings, and I flip it over that thread. I pull that thread up and give myself a lot of room. Then I just start tatting. I cut this end in, and you do not have a knot there, and it won't come out once you get the tatting done, okay? If you tat loosely, when you're tatting on this here, make sure you pull it just a little bit tighter. That way, it works just like you crochet and knit and you sew your ends in, it works the same principle. The minute water hits it, it goes boom, and it all starts working together, okay? So, in fact, I'll do it that way to show you how it works. How about that? Does that sound like a winner, winner chicken dinner? Alright, let's do I'm gonna do this first ring here. Watch what I'm doing with these ends. Can y'all see this okay? I want you to see what I'm doing with my ends. Move this work out of the way so you can see. That's the first half. Let's do that second half. This is another reason I like these. They've got that pick on the end, and I can pull my ends through, and I don't have this crochet hook and hand and everything in the way. Can you imagine doing that? Yeah. It just saves a lot of time and trouble. I'm just telling you. Now these rings are 3 picots, and it no, there's no picots. It's 3 small, small, small picot and 6 and small, 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 small picot and 6 and small, small, small picot and 3. Now it's called a very small picot, VSP, okay, will be on a lot of your written form patterns. You'll see VSP or a little tiny hash mark, okay? That means a very small picot. But to help you remember, if it is a joining picot, unless they say use a larger picot, it's very small. I call them microdot picots because mine usually are a microdot. So, but for today's purpose, I'm gonna try to keep it as easy as I can for the beginners that started. Now, if y'all don't know how to do the double stitch, let me know, and I'll explain it. Any of my new people. Alright, so there's 2, and this is the 3rd one, and we get our first micro dot picot. Normally, mine would be smaller than what I'm going to use for demonstration purposes, okay? Now I've got my 3 double stitches in, 1, 2, 3. Let's put in that micro dot. So, 1 half of the double stitch, feed that through. I'm gonna set it up. We'll bring that thread down till our picot is the size that we want. Look how small that is. See that? Ah! Well, a lot of people don't put that information in there. Terms is what really screws everybody up because everybody has their own way, and they're supposed to put legends on their pattern. And welcome, Joanne. Alright, now let's do the other half of that very small picot, the dot. Alright, bring it down. Once you bring it down, because we have 2 cores running through here, you wanna hold both cores and work that double stitch over. Place it where it needs to go. Now, we've still got this tail we're working with, and we've got 6 double stitches to put in. So, what we're gonna do is we're going to drop it on this first half of this next double stitch right there. Now, as you get progressed in your tatting journey, you can take a pair of scissors, lay it there, and you can snip that thread. Don't do that until you're used to doing it. If you see someone doing it, watch how they do it, and they're very, very careful because if you do this and you don't know how close you are, you take the chance of snipping your thread here, snipping these 2 threads off, or snipping it right here. Guess what? You did all that work for nothing. And trust me, when you're working on a project that's way out like this, you do not want to cut your threads. I'm just saying, because getting new thread added is just as difficult as starting over, alright? So with that said, we've got the first half. Now we're gonna take that and we can fold it to the back, get it out of our way, put in that second double stitch. Now we've got 4 more of these puppies before we get another very small picot. That's 4. Let's try that again. 4. Now you can see I don't have a lot of room here in my loom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to open it up. I'm gonna drop that shuttle. If I see that it's got a lot of twist in it, I will pull it through before I drop the shuttle or anything, okay? And I lay the shuttle over the back of my hand. I'll show you that because if it gets real twisty, it'll drive you nuts. Lay it across your hand and pull. And if it's real twisty, it will spin out down there. This isn't real twisty. There's a trick to this. Everything's got a trick in padding. Like I said, it's an adventure. Now there's number 5, and here's number 6. Now we got another one of those dot picots we gotta put in because it's a 20 picot, and you just gauge them however you wanna gauge them. You know, you don't have to use a picot gauge for this. That's 3, 4, 5, and here we go again. I need more thread because I'm using the larger thread. Now, what I like to do is where the double stitch is first half, I throw my shuttle and I pull my thread up. You see it's spinning in there, okay? And then I've got my loom ready to go. What that does is it pulls this first half this way, okay? But it doesn't misshape the double stitch when you pull back to straighten that leg up. There's 2 parts to the double stitch. This is the first half. This next part is the second half, okay? And when you're done, it looks like a pair of pants. Well, this one doesn't show that very well, but this red will. See? It looks like a pair of pants. You got a waistband and 2 legs. See? So you'll hear it called many, many things, but waistband, 2 pant legs, that's a double stitch. All right? What did you forget, Pam? Oh, the homework page? Oh, that's okay, Pam. No worries, no worries. Alright, now we got one more to put in, then we get another one, then dots again. Alright? Now we pull that over. We've got 1 picot, 2 picot. We're working on that 3rd picot for this first ring. Again, it's gonna be a small picot, first half, second half, first half, second half. We got 2 double stitches there. Gonna need some more thread. Pull it back this way to break that tension off of that back leg. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, we're gonna close the ring. Now, I want you all to learn this, okay, so that you have a professional look to your tatting. No matter if you're a newbie or you're a grandmaster, this will serve you well. You take your shuttle, you do what they call posting your shuttle. You put it through your loom, out the other side. Okay, let me show you again. This is our loom wrapped around our hand. Drop that shuttle through it. Why do we do that? It pulls that core to the back of the work. Before I close this up, I'll show you. It pulls it to the back of the work. If you should have to go back and take this apart, it definitely makes it easier to open the rings, okay? But it also gives you a continual look to your double stitches. It also gives you a more rounded look to your ring. Okay? Now, once you're done, you cut that off. Now, got that done. We're done with the little peggies. So let's get rid of that. Now I'm gonna get me a swig of my coffee. Your mouth gets dry when you talk. Okay, now we've got our 2 double stitches according to this pattern right here. See, we got 2 stitches right here. Y'all see that? It's 2, okay? And it's going from ring 1 to ring 2. So we're gonna put those in. But we don't want this tail on this pink thread that long. Gently, and when I say gently, I mean gently. Turn your work, reverse it. I mean, reverse your work to where the bottom becomes the top becomes the bottom. Lay it in your pinch. Take this thread and pull gently. Okay? What you are doing is you're aligning that tail for how long it needs to be. Now, because there's only 2 double stitches, what we're gonna do with this tail is we're going to do the 2 double stitches, and then we're gonna take it up into the next ring. That will lock it into place. If you leave it with just the 2 double stitches, it will work out. You've got to have it under at least 4 double stitches, alright? Remember that. So, we're gonna set up our loom for our chain. Give ourselves plenty of room here to get going. We're gonna choke up on shuttle 1. Shuttle 2 is the pink shuttle, and we are going to put in our 2 double stitches. Now, I'm gonna do this traditional. I usually pat front side, back side on everything, but for classes, I try to stay consistent with traditional, but the old brain does forget. So if I make a mistake, just ignore it, it'll go away. Alright? So we're gonna do the first half of that double stitch. This is double stitch number 1. We only put in 2. You pull it down to the base of that ring tight, okay? Now you're gonna put in that second half. Use that pick on the end of your, tatting shuttle and get that thread worked into place, alright? Now we're gonna put in another one, okay? Now, you could put Josephine chain in here if you wanted to, a little bit of a Josephine chain. You could do Victorian sets. I mean, the sky's the limit on chains. There's no discrepancy. The only thing is, if you're going to do that, you have to have at least 4 half stitches in order for the pattern to work out correctly. You got that? You can't put 2 half stitches and expect it to work. It's not gonna happen for you. Alright? So, with that said, we're done with our 2 double stitches. Let's reverse our work. Top becomes bottom, bottom becomes top, vice versa. Okay? Turn it around, get it back around where it's supposed to. Everything shifts back the way it's supposed to be. Now, what I like to do is I fidget with my ring. I adjust things, align everything, put it in its place before I move on to the next ring. Because once I join here, it makes it harder to fix things over here and make it nice and pretty. All right. So with that said, we're going to hold that ring like this. It's going to be a turn or rotate, excuse me, a rotate our work. Now, when we rotate, we turn our piece 1/4 turn to the left. Okay, everybody got that? That's okay, Carmen. You can rewatch the beginning part. I'm glad you made it though. All right, so you can turn it 1/4 turn. alright? And you just depending on the pattern, you just keep turning the 1/4 turn if that is what you're supposed to do, and you'll know that's what you're supposed to by the pattern. This only has 2 double stitches. The only way you're gonna get these stitches to line up with this other ring over here is to turn your work. You reverse your work, it puts you in line to come up here, but it's gonna give that ring an arc you don't want, alright? That said, let's wrap our loom for a ring. Now, when I pull that into the pinch, this is the core thread going around my hand. I come up here and I lay this right next to that last stitch there. That's my pinch. I have this tail that fits in between the 2. You see? The tail is between my shuttle thread and my core thread over here. Even though it's the same, at this point, this is our shuttle thread because it's coming out, and this is our core thread. See, tatting can confuse you. Gotta know all the ropes. So we're gonna put the first half of this double stitch in, and we're gonna walk that down. And we're gonna take this through the next 2 double stitches. We're gonna do just like we did on the first ring. So walk it through, keep weaving that tail in and out, alright, and pull it tight. Use your tension for the greater good to get the right look that you're wanting with this pattern. Like I said, it's a beautiful pattern. Now, if you are going to do the going from one round to the next with the bridging technique, or anybody else know what that's called? We went through this. Anybody got it? Anna, do you know what it's called besides bridging? Most people say it's going from one round to the next. There is a name for it. I'm gonna wait for Anna to tell. Ah, did I put 3 double stitches? No, I put 6. I made a mistake right there. I was only supposed to do 3. I was talking to you guys. That's okay. That's okay. A double stitch is the picot that hasn't grown up. You wanna know how to fix that? We have 3 double stitches. We go 1, do it on the front side, I can see it better. We go 1, 2, 3. That picot should come in right here. See what I just did? What is another name for bridging from one round to the next? When we step out from one round to the next. Now, once you get everything into place, you can come back in here and work that thread back down into the core, okay? Yeah, split chain. What else? Climb out, yeah. See, the many names. You can use many names, but its technical name is bridging, okay? So, you see me put that picot in there? And that'll happen to you. Now, after we get everything squared away, we'll come out here and we'll fidget with this, okay? Straighten this to go to where it's back in line with the rest of the thread. Yeah, it's a miracle, isn't it? Now we're gonna turn it back around, and we are going to go down through that picot, grab our thread and pull it up. Put it on our finger. See this pink thread? Feed that through right along there. Just lay it. Take your shuttle, drive it through that loop, and pull it down. Line everything up, alright? Now you gotta put in your other 3 double stitches, but first, we got to end off this one. So we'll put in 2, we'll work the first double stitch and half of the second. All right, and feed that through. I should know better than to walk and talk at the same time. In this case, tatting and talking. All right, we feed it through. This is the first half of that second double stitch of this section that we need to do. All right. And we're probably gonna have an extra one, but I'm just showing you. All right, you can do whatever you want. It's climbing out, it's bridging. You can use it as mock ring, mock picot. Hi, Mary. Split chain. There's many, many names people will choose. The technical name is called bridging. All right. So now we've got it drawn through. We pull this down and we put in our three here. And 2, 3. Now, you've seen me fix, I didn't put my picot in. Now, I do have 3 extra double stitches on this ring. That's fine, okay? This is demonstration only. I have a thing I use these for. All these little snippet mistakes, I use them for other purposes. Any of you journal makers, your snippet pieces like this make great dingle dangles, okay? And you can put lace with it. Okay, do you have to count the join as the first half of a double stitch? No. You can if you want. If you don't, you don't have to. I don't. That's the way Georgia taught me. Okay. Thank you, Anna, for putting all those in. That's the way Georgia taught me was you don't count that join as the first, okay? But it's up to you. It's a lot of this, these techniques and stuff and how you do it is what you prefer. Now, there are some tatters that absolutely want it that first half is considered as the join, and then they just come in with the second half, and it does make it look like it's continual, but I tat so tightly, you can't tell if that's a join or not. So, but it's up to you, alright? So, we're going to do we've got 3 we gotta put in 3 more, 2 and 3. That gives us our 6. Now, we're going to do our little dot picot, okay? Put in our 6, 2, 3, 4. It would help if I put in the right half, wouldn't it? That's 5 and 6. And we're gonna put in our little dot, and we're gonna put in 3 more and close the ring. Alright, now we've got that. We're going to post our shuttle and then close our ring. Okay? Now, this is where we're gonna get technical with all this work. Let me get that cord little cord out. Alright. We need to step out to the next round on our next ring. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in our 2 double stitches on our chain. Remember, we're working traditional tatting. All right, so 1 and 2. Now, I'm going to show you on the front side. This is the twisty part. You see how where the 2 of them come in together That's where it's going to twist. All right. The smaller threads show it better. Plus, once you learn front side, back side, you don't do traditional unless they require it in the back, and that's where the frilly comes in. All right. So we got our 2 double stitches in place. Now guess what we're gonna do? We are going to make a loom. Y'all ready? I'm fixing to blow your minds. You ready to learn something? You ready to play around here? You see, I'm keeping that pink core right with me because this pink thread has to be the other half to step out our round. Okay? So we're gonna do a split ring here. All right? So this half of our thread is going to be pink. This half of our thread is going to be the white. We're going to step out. When you're stepping from one round to the next, there are 2 rules of thumb. Don't use solid colors. Use variegated for that section. So make sure you got some variegated threads going on so it doesn't show, or use all one color because it will show because you're doing a split ring. And this is going to be our split ring. All right. So let me get all my threads lined up here. I'm going to come on the back side of that pink thread. All right. So we're going to put in our 3 double stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Open that ring up. Lay it there. Get it out of the way. We want to join to this thread. Put it on our finger. Run our shuttle up through that. There's a reason you don't want it to twist at this point. You don't want any twisty sisters. Okay. Now we're going to put in 6 double stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now at this point, you've got 9 different ways you can do the split ring. I have videos up on the channel to show you how. Under Georgia's old channel, by the way, those have been renamed. But if you look up Georgia Sites Advanced, it'll pull it back up, okay? Everything has been watermarked, so it can't be stolen, alright? So, now, we lay that shuttle over our hand. We turn our hand over, and this is the dead spider method that we're gonna use this, alright? However, there's a trick for people with Arthur. A lot of you have Arthur. Slip your thumb in there. Open that hand up. See that? Put your padding over here on your thumb. Tighten up on your shuttle. And you wanna do reverse order of double stitches. Alright, so you go 1, slide it over. That's you did first half, second half. This is the second double stitch, first half, second half. The third double stitch, first half, second half. You're just sliding your stitches over, you're not flipping anything. Okay, now, when you get those in place, you've got a tiny picot you've gotta put in here on this side. So, what you do is you take it and you slide it over, you measure your picot, and once you get it into play, gently pull that second half over. Once you get both halves there, up on the thread, slide. That way you don't lose your picot. So you put in your other 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Need to get more thread on that shuttle. Come out 1 more. Get all of it. All right. Now, let's see what we've got here. Let's count our stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more. This is 6. Now, drop that pink shuttle over here and grab our ring. Do we post it or do we not? What do you think? You're gonna post it. You're gonna go through that ring just like you do on a regular ring, and you close it. Don't let it out of the pinch. Don't let it get twirly on you. You just close that ring. Now, there you go. That's how you're gonna climb out to the next round, okay? So this will imitate this ring. Now we gotta put our mock picot in to move into our next ring. Again, we're gonna wrap our hand because we've got to put that mock picot in. We want that mock picot to be a super small mock picot. Now in this part, we want the pink thread between our shuttle thread and our core, which is the same thread. Remember, this is the same thread. So therefore, you want to lay it down right, and you're going to put your first double stitch in, but you're not gonna you're gonna slide it down to the length of the picot you need. Pull it, and then the second half you flip. You just put in a lock stitch. That lock stitch will be your picot, okay? Now, continue on with your ring. And it's 2 double stitches, a picot, 2 double stitches, another picot. Now that lock stitch, you can put it at the beginning, you can put it at the end. The choice is yours. A lot of things in tatting are your choice. Excuse me, I just did that wrong. I did that wrong. Back that up. I'm not thinking. Y'all can beat me for it later, I promise. But part of you learning is watching me make mistakes. You can make notes. Don't do that. That works, doesn't it? Because you have to put the picot in first, not before the ring. Duh. Sometimes I've got so much stuff running through my head because I am trying to get you what you need, and I'm trying not to forget things, honestly, but I'm blonde underneath all this. I'm blonde. Just saying. We have a joke, and I know y'all know about the blonde jokes. Y'all hear them all the time, and, I am naturally blonde. My husband is too. Mine is a just dirty dishwater blonde. He's a really, really pretty blonde, and, so I tell him, I said, I'm worried." He says, "What?" I said, "We're getting older. We've grown roots." He just laughs. Tammy, that's fine. That's why we chose to go live with this, so that you could rewind, 'cause the classroom setup we had before, you didn't have that option. You really did not have that option. Alright, let's try this again. Ah. Alright, so we are going to do a mock picot, and then we'll do the ring. So we're gonna wrap our hand like this. We're gonna use the pink so you can see it. You wanna do the first half, slide it down to your picot size, come in with the second half flip. So the first half is rods, the second half is not. Now you can do the first half as not and the second half as rods. Either way, it's your choice. If you do the second half as flipped, the pink will be on the front side. If you do the second half as the rods, the pink will be on the backside. And then it's locked, it's not going nowhere, you can't close that piece. Then you come in and you do your ring, okay? And that will be another split ring. So we go 1, 2, and we got some twisty thread working here. You see it twisting out? And it'll do that. And that's fine, that just gets you a wrist a break, your fingers a break. Alright? Means positively, not negatively. I'm gonna put a picot in, do 2 more, put in another picot, okay, we gotta have some more thread, open it up, put in our last picot, and this is a split ring, folks. So, there we go. So we've got those 3 double stitches in, or those 3 picots along with the double stitches. Gonna come back, and I'm only gonna do the first part of this. Again, slide those stitches over. Make sure they're snug. There you go, 2. This is where my shuttles start getting slickery. Oops. Open up the loom if you need to. That's why putting it on the thumb helps, because then you can do this. Slide it over. Slide them over. And the last 2 double stitches. I hear music out there. I hope it doesn't pick up on my video. We're close to the interstate. Anybody comes down the interstate's got their boomers going. Guess what? We get it. We close that ring. Now we're ready to move in to our chain. Okay? And then when you come back around, like I said, this right here, this last picot, going to do the chain. Okay. Let's see. Can I clarify to do the split ring before you finish round 1, then split ring out again before finishing round 2? Yeah, I need that clarified. Alright, let me look at her question. Okay. Gail, I can't understand your language, and I don't have it translated. Okay. Alright, there it is. Happy New Year. Great to catch you too. You haven't been here for a while. Tammy, it's gonna take a while for you to catch it, and that's okay. It's all part of the learning process. Alright, can I clarify? Do the split ring before you finish round 1, correct? If we was working on round 1, let me show you on this bigger piece. If we were working on round 1, I would start and do all of my rings all the way around until I get to the last ring. This last ring would be a split ring into a mock picot and then another split ring. At that point, we're on the next round, and you're gonna work these chains with the 3 picots all the way around the pattern, okay? When you come back around to here where your split ring is, before you get here, you will connect the base of this split ring, okay? And you will do rods back to your picot. Do another mock picot into a split ring and follow out to here. Do the same thing. And then at the last join, you join to the ring and you work your way back to this using rods. I've got demonstrations on how to do the split chain on the videos. That's fine, Tammy. And if you have any questions, hon, don't hesitate to write in. I'll answer you as soon as I can. I usually try to get back to people um, within 24 hours, unless it's the weekend or holiday. Weekends is when I get to clean house and stuff, but right now I'm just resting my foot. The pattern does not call for split rings. The pattern calls for you to break off at each round. Okay. You can do each round individually, cut and tie. Then you got to sew in those in. Okay. Then you step out, you go out here to the next round, you would join your A ring, come into B chain, do C ring, then follow on around. Okay. You get back around here, you join here at the last chain, cut and tie. That's 2 more ends you have to sew in, okay? Then, same deal, you'd have to start this out around, 2 more cut and ties, and each round ends up being like that. Well, when you get out here to just these chains, it starts looking a little wonky. Your chains will shift, okay, because you have nothing but a chain and a picot to stabilize that chain. So they're going to shift and they're gonna give, and you're gonna get twisty sister, okay? And you don't want that. So that's the reason stepping out from round 1 to round 2 is something you need to learn because that helps keep the pattern tight, okay? But for now, you can cut and tie, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Try it that way, and then try it with the stepping out, and it'll make a lot of sense why we do that, okay? Now, are there any other questions? And I mean, seriously, Tammy, if you run into a pitfall, even over the weekend, I'm gonna be laying up upstairs, my foot propped up, I'll answer you pretty fast. Just send me shoot me an email and I'll answer you, okay? And if you need to set up time with me, say so, we'll get that worked out, okay? So, any other questions, folks? That's fine. I teach this class, and I go at the pace the students need. I know that doesn't make sense to a lot of people. I have classes planned, but if it takes longer than I have planned for to get through something and work it out with the students, I will take longer, okay? Not too many teachers will do that. I want you to grasp it, I want you to know it, I want you to know how to work with it, okay? So, I mean, seriously, you got a problem? Shoot me a line, I'll help you with it. That's what I'm there for. You know how many times I've been to Georgia, okay? If she told you, she'd say, "Yeah, I was pissed." I'll tell you, I couldn't have learned from anybody better. So, let me switch camera angles and get back up top side. Ah, there we are. We're here, we're here, we're here. Now, I want y'all to work on Sophie. This blue one is in size 40, okay? This one here, it's size 40. This one is size 10. And you see the difference? Yeah. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something, she's got picots on these outer rounds. Folks, let me tell you a little secret here. Wally, I had Wally go. Where'd I put oh, it's over here. Can you imagine joining several of these together like I did with this one? How beautiful of a shawl or a tablecloth would that be? Think about that. All right. Now, I will have my special classes. I use those to teach you what to do with your tatting besides wool. Because the thing is, goalies are in the past, all right? We've got other things we can do. You can put beads on this, okay? Hang it on your tree at Christmas, okay? It's definitely beautiful, all right? Beautiful. You can do so much with motifs. I mean, you can mix motifs too. I mean, seriously. All right, let's see if I got where's that one? Where's my lip? Let me find it. Here it is. I got so much stuff on my desk. I can clean it up. Can you imagine going around and joining? Well, this would work perfect. Look at that. Joining all the way around this with this little sixer. Check it out. I mean, seriously. And that's what I do. These little snippets of stuff that I make for classes, I use them. And I'll sit there and I say, "Okay, I like the way this looks. I wonder if it'll work. Let me try it with this. Okay, will you work there if I do?" Guess what? You come up with a whole different pattern, all right? So play with your tatting. That's what it's there for. So any other questions, folks? Anything else? Now remember, you can ringy dingy me. You can send me an email, class email, onlinechattingclass@gmail.com, and it comes straight to my phone, and I will answer you. If I don't answer right away, that is because I am in the middle of something. I have a stack of fabrics over here that are needing to draft right now that are 5-inch squares. Yeah, things, and I've got to make product with those. So, yeah, if I'm in the middle of cutting or sewing something, something like that, yeah, that could be a problem me answering you real quick, but I will get back to you very shortly as soon as I get to a stopping point. I run a Etsy shop. It's shut down right now 'cause I have no product to go in the Etsy shop, but these are bags, different variety of different bags that I think tatters could use to carry their tatting in clean while they're at a doctor's office traveling like I do. I carry my tatting everywhere. I've got, like, 5 or 6 bags that go in this one big bag when we're traveling. So, that's when I really get some tatting. So, with that said, I want to wish all of you a wonderful weekend, and if you have any problems along the way, just give me a holler. I do not check Facebook that often. I use Facebook mainly to talk to my grands and my kids, and, so, yeah, that if you see me on Facebook, that's usually what I'm doing, or I'm talking to the people that work with so, other than that, I'm really not a Facebook, okay? Pam handles the Facebook, and she'll get to me if it's something like that, but if you need to speak with me directly, send the class email to the online chatting class at gmail.com, okay? RD, thank you. Now remember, folks, give us a thumbs up. If you learned anything today and you feel like you wanna help with the we are $750 into the 1781 that we need for the website and stuff. So if you wanna donate, you can donate, you can super chat, say super thanks, whatever. You can donate through the website. Now, you all have a great weekend, and I will see you next week, and may all your threads make beautiful lace. Happy tatting, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.